Test, 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 test.
Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test.
Welcome everybody here to Fifth Third Arena for some Cincinnati volleyball. Tonight, the Cincinnati Bearcats take on the Akron Zips of the MAC Conference here in Fifth Third Arena, brought to you by Bearcast Media, Bearcast Sports Radio. My name is Justin Diedrich. I'm joined here by Colin Kunz. How are you tonight?
Doing pretty good. Excited to watch some Bearcats volleyball here tonight.
They are announcing starting lineups here for Akron, and now the lights turn off in Fifth Third as we will get starting lineups for the Bearcats. Speaking of the Bearcats, they're on a 3-game winning streak. Their last win was versus Kent State. They won in 3 sets to nothing. The game before that, they won at Xavier in the Cintas Center, in which I was on the call for. They won that in 3 sets to 1 after dropping the first set, came back and won the last 3. They haven't lost since September 6th at UAB. They lost that 3 sets to 1. So this team's coming in this one playing very good volleyball, and I expect them to stay on a roll.
Yeah, Bearcats playing really hot right now. Only 2 losses overall in the season, 6-2 record, and now in the middle of this home stand, looking to pick up possibly 3 wins here. Already got 1 against Kent State. Now they have a chance tonight against Akron, and then taking on Morehead State on September 19th.
And they've got Morehead State in back-to-back games here at Fifth Third Arena on the 17th, and then they play at Morehead over down in Kentucky a few days later. Speaking of the Zips here, they're 3-6. They're on a 2-game losing streak. Their last one they dropped 2 sets to 3 versus Sacramento State in the Michigan-Oakland Invitational up there in Michigan. The Zips coming from the MAC Conference, something that the Bearcats are kind of familiar with. They've already played Kent State and Bowling Green, both MAC opponents. Now their 3rd one of the year. A little bit interesting scheduling that they have so many opponents, out-of-conference opponents, that are all in the same conference. Both teams out of lineup intros now. We'll be lining up to start the set here in just a few minutes.
Bearcats here looking to take a win tonight. Could be huge for that momentum, like I was saying, in this 3-game home stand, picking up some wins in front of this good home crowd here in Fifth Third Arena.
The fans did show out on a random Tuesday night here in Cincinnati. We got a pretty decent crowd here, a lot of fans showing support for their volleyball team. The Bearcat is here, of course, showing support. We've got a few of our friends at Bearcast Media working the game as well. Shout out Chris Pagan and Aiden Riggs here on camera for the game. Bearcast Media, we do a lot here for the sports of Cincinnati. It looks like it will be Akron serve to start the game. They're finishing up arena intros here. Lights turned back on, and they're getting ready to start some volleyball action. On the floor for Cincinnati, you're going to see Zeta Washington, who didn't play in the first few matches for the Bearcats. She's going to start the game here for the Bearcats, as well as Julie Whittakin. We're going to see Sydney Nolan, Caitlin Leffler, Carly Glendening, and Abby Walker. Actually, scratch that. Walker is just going to sub out for Faith Frame. Molly Alvey prioritizing defense to start this first set.
Yeah, and Bearcats and Zips here match very evenly, one would say, on paper, but definitely very different in the quality of opponents they've played. Bearcats have played a little bit of a higher quality opponent, so we'll really see if that difference comes out here tonight.
Refs are finishing up their jobs, the scorer's table, and the serve will be coming in just a few. Pump It Up playing to get the fans off their on their feet, not off their feet. Probably want to keep your feet on their feet and excited for the match.
Yeah, and Pump It Up a classic here at the University of Cincinnati. And like we mentioned, definitely a good crowd here. University of Cincinnati loves themselves some volleyball.
It will be Caitlin Leffler start the game serving. The senior from Wisconsin. Team leader in assists on the year at 268, also a very good server. Second on the team in serving ace, so she gets that one over cleanly. The Zips are going to tap that one over off the hands of Glendening. Whittakin tries to dive for that, and it's not going to go the Cincinnati way as Whittakin just couldn't get there. A little bit too slow, and so the Zips get the first point of the night and will serve.
Yeah, Zips on the board first, just placed very perfectly over in that corner. Almost looked like it was going to go out, but just barely snuck in over there.
Aliska Vitiskova will serve for the Zips. That one a hard hit, knocked up by Nolan. Leffler gets in the air. Nolan's going to get a chance at one. Good up by the Zips. They're going to have a chance to return. And that one well placed on the sideline. That was Lauren Baker talking to our fellow director, Aiden Riggs, he was talking up Lauren Baker before the game, saying 20, that's Lauren Baker, that's their star player, and she makes her presence known here early in the game.
Yeah, and there we see it, just another kill just in the opposite side of the court this time.
2-0 Zips. Glendenning knocks that one up. Good set by Leffler to get that one over, but it's blocked and sent back by the Zips. Carleana Jones, 6'3".
Yeah, and there was that huge size. She just up there, jumped straight above the net, and that one going straight into the ground on the Bearcats side.
3-0 hole early in the match. We have seen the Bearcats get off to some slow starts. Looking back to that Xavier game, they lost that first set and then really came back. A chance for Nolan off a good set by Leffler. Going to be kept up by the Zips again. Another chance, tapped over, blocked over by Nolan. Returning Zips again. A little miscommunication there between Glendenning and Washington as they both blocked it. One of them thought, I think Glendenning thought Washington was going to knock that one back in the air, and it just ended up falling on the side. Yeah,
definitely just a little confusion there, and another point given up by the Bearcats. Just really weren't on the same page, and that ball just hits the ground.
Continuing to serve is Vitaskova. Leffler's going to have a chance to set Nolan. That one's going to be awkwardly returned off the outstretched hands of, I believe that was Gabby Brissett.
Yeah, and just a very strange one there. She just kind of tossed it up in the air, and no one for the Bearcats was over there even looking in the direction to get it, and just hit the ground and gives Akron a 5-0 lead.
I don't even think Brissett was trying to return. I think she was just trying to knock that in the air for her team. And that's a little miscue from Glendenning. Serve just goes off her elbow.
Yeah, just a little bit of an awkward tap there.
An early timeout called by Molly Alvey as the team is down in a 6-0 hole to start set one. Clearly not what they envisioned at all.
Yeah, and you really don't want to come out going down 6-0 like that, and especially with the miscues as well. I think this is a good timeout to take here. Just get everyone on the same page. Just make sure everyone knows what they're doing. Down 6-0, I mean, it's not too far down yet. Still can come back from that.
Especially in college volleyball. I mean, you see players go on runs all the time. We saw at that Xavier game and at that Kent State game, teams go on 10-0 runs. I believe the Musketeers had a 14-0 run at a point. I believe we had a 15-0 run at that Kent State game, our last game played here at Fifth Third. So teams go on runs. This is not insurmountable by any means, but it can kill your confidence a little bit early on when you come out. You're all excited to start the game. You expect to play well against a team that doesn't have a good record. You're 3-6, and you get in a 6-0 hole.
Yeah, I think confidence is definitely one of those big things, especially coming right off the bat. You mentioned it, you can have a run at any time in the game, but it's really especially noticeable when you come out firing and you get up to this 6-0 lead.
No changes out of the timeout for Molly Alvey and the Bearcats.
Hopefully everyone on the same page coming out of that timeout.
Vitaskova serving for her 7th point in a row. Gets that one over cleanly, and it dips after going over the net. That is a really, really good serve.
I mean, that was just very, very perfectly placed, just out of the hands. And wow, that was really nice.
There was almost no spin on that ball. It just took a nosedive after reaching the net. That time does it again. Frame's able to get under it. Leffler's going to set Nolan. Block back over, Bearcats control. Nolan a second opportunity. Block back over again, but this time landing on the Zip side. Bearcats get their first point of the night.
And there you go for the Bearcats. You just want to see one get over the net, and there it is right there. Hopefully that can lead to some sort of run for them and start to get things rolling.
And now we'll see an offensive substitution as Fallon Stewart comes in for Julie Wittekin. Glendenning is the server, gets it over cleanly. Knocked in the air by the Zips, so have a good set opportunity. Brissett taps it over, diving Glendenning, keeps it up, and then a miscue by Leffler. Kind of a tough play. She had to dive for it and couldn't get it up in the air.
Yeah, really tough play for sure, but good effort there to dive for it. Just couldn't really get it knocked back up and bounds enough.
(8-1) Akron leads. Lauren Baker, the server. Another diving play by Leffler. Bearcats just are not looking. They're not on the same page. They're not communicating. They're just making mistakes that we don't normally see out of this team, especially not this season.
Yeah, it really just looks like a lot of confusion out there, not on the same page at all.
Clean serve, knocked in the air by Nolan. Leffler's going to try to tap it over, but Carliana Jones is too tall. She taps it over before Leffler can even get to it. It was a play at the net.
And so far, Zips just looking absolutely dominant out here. They're coming into fifth, third, and really making it their house right now.
10-1. Akron leads. Stewart knocks that one in the air. A clean chance for Leffler to Washington. And there's Zeta Washington making her presence known. This is only the 4th set she's played all season after working her way back from an injury last year. 6'2", sophomore. I mean, she's such a good volleyball player. They're glad to have her back on the court. 10-2, Faith Frame, the server. Gets it over cleanly, a little bit tough to control. They do it anyways. Set up for the Zips, a chance, and another well-placed ball out of the reach of the diving Gillespie for the Bearcats.
Yeah, and the Zips have really been able to put it exactly where they need to put it all night. I mean, just nearly everyone that's hitting the ground is just barely out of the arms of Bearcat.
Carliana Jones serving for the Zips. Another miscue for the Bearcats. Knocked that one out of bounds.
Yeah, just so many of those. We've seen really a couple of those now tonight as well, just awkwardly going off the hands and out of bounds and just every which way.
Gillespie knocks that one up. A great set by Leffler to Walker. They're going to call that a Bearcat point. They say it hit the line. From our point of view, I was a little bit unsure of that.
Yeah, that one looking very close on that far side, but was given to the Bearcats.
Side out Cincinnati. Sydney Nolan will serve. She's got 5 aces on the year. Played in 26 sets this season. And nothing Lily Gillespie can do about that one. A powerful smack by the Akron Zips. And they are just looking like a well-oiled machine right now. They're communicating. Their sets have been perfect, and that's what's giving them a 13-3 lead.
Yeah, and that was just a really impressive play right there. Like you said, an incredibly powerful slam, and just nobody could even really get an arm on that one.
Martina Villani puts up the serve. A little low grazer over the net, controlled, knocked over by Walker, and blocked into the net on the Zips side. Cincinnati point.
Yeah, and Bearcats looking a lot more like a team on that one, played a lot better. It looks like they're starting to get that communication back in check a little bit more and starting to play together a little bit. We'll see if that starts to roll their momentum.
They sub back in Julie Whittakin to take the serve. She's the team leader in serving aces with 6. The senior hometown girl from Cincinnati. Gets that one over cleanly. Miscue on the serve by the Akron Zips. Imanola Christodoulou tried to control that one. Again, another miscue on a tough serve by a good server.
Yeah, and this time we see the awkward play come from the Zips. Like you mentioned, a good serve, and that one just bouncing way up and just super far away. Nothing the Zips could do to get it back.
The clean serve by Whittakin. This time, Christodoulou gets it up. Opportunity knocked up by Nolan. That'll be Carly Glendening. Good play by Del Real to knock it up for the Zips. Frame's going to hit it in the air. Glendening with a chance. The Zips diving all over the court to keep this ball alive. Almost hits the scoreboard. And now a misread by Isabel Parroco. Knocks it into the net. 13-6, Zips still leading.
And Bearcats got the point, but you got to give the Zips a good points for that rally. I mean, they kept it alive for a good amount of time, especially Del Rey popping it back up, keeping that play alive.
The effort is evident for the Zips as Whittakin serves that one into the net. Side out Akron. They'll sub in Riley Choss to serve this one. 5'4" freshman libero from Orlando Park, Illinois. A high arcing serve controlled by Frame. Leffler sets up Glendening, tries to tap it. Zips get to it. Opportunity by Baker, kept in by Frame, hits the scoreboard. Leffler controls it. Knocked over by Glendening, but returned. Another opportunity. Carly Glendening kept alive. A diving Whittakin keeps it up in the air for the Bearcats, but they just can't get to it. A tough play at the net, and it falls on their side.
And again, just another good rally from these teams. Bearcats trying to make a great effort to save it there at the end, but just nobody there at the net when it got blocked to return it. And point goes to the Zips.
Chaws serving again. This time it'll be Glending that hits it up. Behind the head, set by Leffler. Looks like they're redoing the serve. Maybe the referees weren't ready for them to start, might not have blown the whistle. I'm not entirely sure because nobody got a point.
I'm not quite sure what happened there either.
Serve over cleanly. Frame gets to Leffler. Cross court set.
Bearcats now on the serve. That one hitting the net, and Whittakin not able to get it over, giving the Zips another point and as well giving them the lead. Just a little bit of a miscue there from Whittakin. This set though has been competitive throughout. Zips now will look to serve with Viliani. This one hits the net for her and rolls over. And no one for the Bearcats expected that at all. No one in the area. Ball falls straight down into the ground. And Zips take an 18-16 lead. Looks like they really have things figured out here towards the end of this second set. Bearcats looking to get some of that momentum back in their side. Dangerous ball there. Save made though. Kill going into the ground. High ball coming up. This one going out of bounds. And the Bearcats will take another point back. Bearcats will be back to serve, this time with Molly Harrison. First time seeing her serve in this set. See her launch one over, this one over towards the right side of the Zips court. Zips now playing again at the net, and a nice block made by the Bearcats, number 99, Zeta Washington. Just using that height and power, meeting him at the net, and again, looks like we'll have another timeout called here. Zips and Bearcats now each using 2 timeouts apiece. This one taken by the Zips after the equalizer by Cincinnati. Coming out of this set, Cincinnati will again be on the serve. 18-18, like I said, we are approaching the end of this second set, and Bearcats really looking for it and try to get some of that momentum back. Dropping that first set pretty comfortably, here in their own home arena. Timeout here, under 20 seconds. We'll see how both teams look to adjust coming out. Zips ready to get back on the floor. They're out there with even time left. Bearcats, though, taking their time to get out on this timeout.
For any of you that may have had technical difficulties on the Bearcast stream, we have worked it out. We had to fix a few things with the Fifth Third Arena Wi-Fi. It doesn't agree with us all the time.
Molly Harrison out to serve. Running start launches this one over, nearly an ace, and another almost blocked down at the net by the Bearcats. This one played very well by the Zips. And they'll take the lead coming out of the timeout.
And the Bearcats do not at all want to put themselves in a 2-set deficit. I mean, that would be very, very bad news.
Yeah, and Bearcats really needing this one almost. 2-set deficit at home, I mean, coming out right away, that really kills your momentum. Zips now will serve this one going to the left side of the Bearcats. Bearcats now pop it up, slam down, and blocking attempt made by the Zips, but no good. Ball again just hitting the hands and falling straight to the ground.
Yeah, Leffler serving. She's a very solid server for the Bearcats. I don't expect any mistakes, knock on wood. So maybe a chance for a run here.
Caitlin Leffler will be out to serve. Light serve put back towards the middle. Kill coming from the Zips. And right away they're able to get through the hands of Frame. Zips up 20-19. Again, they'll be out to serve. Del Real out with this one. Puts it again over to the left side and too strong. Put it just out of bounds. And again, things will be equalized here in favor of the Bearcats.
It's weird to say we're tied here with Akron right now, but I kind of like where the Bearcats are at with Glendenning serving, tied at 20s. I think they're in a good position.
Yeah, Bearcats just need to continue rolling. Looked good early in this first set. That ball rolling awkwardly off the top of the net. Just kind of rolled over and out of bounds. And Zips again take a lead.
Yeah, that's a tough break. It was rolling in the net for a little bit, and everyone kind of stared to look at it. Would it fall in bounds? Would it fall out of bounds? It fell out of bounds, and Fallon Stewart just kind of had a defeated look on her face.
Vidaskova now to serve for the Zips. Again, targeting that left side. Bearcats popped up high. Slam down attempt coming, blocked at the net by the Zips. Again, another attempt here. That one does fall, goes straight into the ground, and again, things have been equalized here.
Right on the line for Fallon Stewart, but a well-placed ball and a point.
Bearcats now again will come out with Frame to serve. She puts this one over. Zips now, they'll slam it down. Good block by the Bearcats. Zips trying to return it, but it does go out of bounds, and the Bearcats now will take a lead.
Try to keep this momentum, just taking the lead. You're close to the end of this set. This is where you really have to turn it on.
Frame again, far left side for the Zips. Zips pop it up, slamming that one into the ground. Getting past some Bearcats, but it did go out. So it will be a point for the Bearcats, and now they'll take a 2-point lead towards the end of this set.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a question of whether that one hit the line or not. I didn't think it did from our point of view, and the refs didn't think it did either. It looks like they may be reviewing this, potentially. I know Akron has called a timeout. Refs are able to review during these type of things, although none of them are looking at the screen, so they may not be reviewing. They may just stick with their call.
Yeah, it looks like all the officials are still just standing out there. It looks like Akron just called a timeout, maybe potentially to get them to look at it or just recollect themselves towards the end of the set. Then Bearcats up 23-21. We've seen a lot of back and forth in these last couple of points.
Yeah, the Bearcats have done a good job. I mean, they have played really tight with Akron throughout the second set. In the first set, obviously, you remember they dropped. But they did a good job to not get defeated. Sometimes when you lose that first set and you're playing tight in the second one, you can kind of get defeated. You can feel like you've already kind of lost this set, lost this game. Bearcats haven't felt like that. They've still been playing good. They've been playing better. They've gotten better as time's gone on for this entire match.
Yeah, I mean, Bearcats definitely haven't let that first set get to them at all. And, I mean, really, they've come out firing a lot stronger here in this second set, and we'll see if that continues throughout the rest of this game. Bearcats taking all of this time out. Time will tick down. They'll break their huddle. Head back out onto the court here. 2 more points will do it for them. 4 more points, however, for the Zips to take the set. Bearcats looking to get one back. Frame will stay out to serve. Again, she'll go to that left side. Dig from the Zips. Zips now putting it over. This one going out of bounds. The Bearcats are 1 point away from taking set 2.
This is where you need to lock in. The Bearcats really want to tie this up at 1-1. I think they can do it.
Frame again. Could this be the last point of the set? Again, she targets that left side. Zips popping this one up high. Block coming at the net by the Bearcats. Zips, though, save it. Going back towards their side. Now pop back over to the Bearcats side. High ball. Set coming. Bearcats kill attempt, and that'll do it. Bearcats will take set 2.
A great set by Leffler and a great kill by Fallon Stewart. Gets the Bearcats and even things up at 1-1. Stewart got a full piece of that ball. I mean, she really smacked that one.
Yeah, and that was a great way to take that set, and a set that the Bearcats really needed. Get a lot of that confidence back, a lot of that momentum back going into this third set here.
Both teams will head and get a little bit of a break here before set 3. About a 5-minute break before teams return to action. We will also be taking a break on Bearcast Media, but you're going to want to come back in about 4 minutes and 45 seconds for some more volleyball action. Just about to return here to volleyball action in Fifth Third Arena. If you guys haven't been keeping up, it is tied 1-1 after the Akron Zips took the first set, and the Bearcats clawed their way back to take set 2.
Overall, been a great match so far. I mean, Bearcats coming out a little slow in their first set, but looking great in their second, and just playing a lot more competitively.
We'll see how they come out and start set 3. I expect them to go and play a little bit aggressive. Play it with some fire, play with some heart. You want to take this set 3 convincingly so you can maybe take this one 3-1.
Yeah, that's really what you want to see. You want to see that aggression, you want to see that strength, and we'll see if they bring that.
Leffler serve and a nice play by Carlea Jones to tap that one over for the Zips. They'll get to a 1-0 lead, and very reminiscent of what happened in set 1 as they got to a 1-0 lead, and then Vitiskova was the server. She'll get that one over cleanly, tapped in the air by Whittakin. Leffler set to Washington. Vitiskova dives to keep it in the air, and the Zips are going to get this one over. Free ball for the Bearcats. Leffler, this time Nolan. Zips returning again. A good diving play by Del Real. Nolan, third time's a charm, and it will not be. Lauren Baker returns. Frame knocks it in the air. Glendening this time off the net, and a tough break for the Zips, but Bearcat point.
And Bearcats able to take a long volley there. I mean, they went back and forth. We saw good defense from both sides. We saw a couple of great saves come from Del Real for the Zips, but just not quite enough, and Bearcats take the point.
Carly Glendening will be the server for Cincinnati. Little miscue by the Zips as Lauren Baker had it go off the side of her arm, and Vitiskova couldn't run that one down into the scorer's table.
Yeah, and Bearcats just able to take advantage, get a free point there as that ball just goes way over, like you said, into the scorer's table.
Glendening's sixth ace, on the season. Serving this one again, and that one too strong. Out of bounds off the back line, side out Akron.
Yeah, now we see a miscue come from the other side there from the Bearcats, just unfortunately too strong on the serve. And again, things get tied early here.
Lauren Baker serving again for the Zips. She have had a really good night for Akron. Leffler is going to set Sydney Nolan, and a great read by the Zips to not go after that one, because it was just a little bit too far by Sydney Nolan. Out of bounds, Akron point.
Yeah, great read for sure. Just too strong, just too far out, and Zips take the lead.
Frame knocks that one up in the air. Leffler set Fallon Stewart, and that one out of bounds.
And again, just a really close play. I mean, from our vantage point, that one looked like it maybe could have almost been on the line, but looks like it was just out, and Zips now up 2.
If you don't know, our vantage point is kind of in the corner of Fifth Third Arena. We have a good low view, but some plays we're a little far away from. Return by the Bearcats, and tapped back over by Akron. Gillespie set up to Fallon Stewart and blocked at the net by Carlea Jones, and down on the Cincinnati side. It's 5-2 Akron.
And Leffler able to keep that play alive after we thought it was going to die early, but Bearcats putting it up against the net, and Zips able to just get a strong block down and eventually just take that point.
Low serve and into the net by Lauren Baker, so a break goes the Bearcats' way. We'll see Abby Walker come back in the game for Zeta Washington, and Faith Frame will serve.
Now we see another air coming from the Zips. Maybe gives the Bearcats some life, down 2. We'll see what they can do here.
Frame, a good serve. Barely able to be controlled by the Zips. Del Real has to tap it over. Free ball for the Bearcats, and that leads to an Abby Walker kill.
Yeah, and Walker with just a great slam there into space. Ton of strength, ton of power. Nobody even able to get close to getting under that one.
4-5, Akron still leading. All tied up at 1-1. Another clean serve by Faith Frame. A great play by the Zips. They had a perfect set at the net. From the middle of the court, behind her head was Carlea Jones.
Yeah, I mean, that was just impressive. Two Bearcats were up at the net ready to block it, but it looked like it got over both of them and just was able to fall to the ground for an Akron point.
Now it is Carlea Jones serving. Leffler set to Sydney Nolan. Blocked the net and controlled by the Zips. They're going to return this one. Tapped in the air by Leffler. Frame to Nolan. Blocked again. Very similar play as the last one. And it'll be Leffler tapping again. It's like a cycle and repeat. This time the other side, Fallon Stewart is off the top of the hands of Gabby Brissett and out of bounds.
And Bearcats able to take advantage there. Again, another long volley. But Bearcats able to just get a nice play off of the fingertips of an Akron defender. Ball going out of bounds, make it 5-6.
Sydney Nolan serve. Baker had to get on the ground to keep that one up. And then a perfect set to Melissa Torre.
And wow, that one was just almost as free as it gets. Just great timing, great placement all over for the Zips.
I mean, right off the hands of the set was Torre, and she was there ready for that one. Serving now will be Villani once again. Taps the top of the net and over. Controlled by Walker. Leffler set to Stewart, blocked the net and out of bounds. Bearcat point.
Bearcats just with a great play there to get it over the net. A little bit of confusion after it hit and rolled over, but able to take advantage of the situation. Just hit it back, able to end up with a point.
We'll see Julie Whittakin come back in to make the serve. Controlled and going to be returned and way too strong out of the back line. That was Isabel Burcoco.
Yeah, and she just really got way too a hold of that one. Wasn't even really close, went way long, and again, things get tied here.
Sevens, Whittakin serves cleanly. Del Real hits it up. This time, Kristen Dulu on the other side, and off the hands of Abby Walker. Leffler was a little bit too slow to dive for that one. Akron back with the lead, 8-7.
I think we saw it earlier, but it looked like it was a little bit of misdirection from the Zips. Looked like they were going to go over more towards the left side of that net, but ended up switching at the last second, going to the right side. Caught the Bearcats off guard, and nobody was really able to save it once it started falling.
Clean serve by the Zips. Tapped up in the air by Frame and lightly tapped over by Caitlin Leffler. Her favorite move. Fake that set and just tap it over to the side.
Yeah, and that tap, it worked so effectively earlier, and again works effectively to tie things up here.
Abby Walker serving for the Bearcats. Kept it in the air. This time Torre hits it into the net. Bearcat take the lead, 9-8.
Yeah, and great work there just at the net, able to jump up and just get a quality block, give the Bearcats the lead.
Walker serving again. This time controlled a little bit better by the Zips, tapped over. Now Glendening blocked the net and down on the Bearcat side. We're back to a tie ball game.
Yeah, and now we just see a good block coming from the other side. Zips just able to perfectly play that one. Just a perfectly timed jump and nice block down straight into the ground.
Del Real serves, gets it over. Leffler's going to have a tough time controlling it. She gets it up to Nolan and off the top of the hands of Carlea Jones. Out of the reach of any Akron Zips. Bearcat point.
Now we have a little bit of this back and forth game going on here. Both teams kind of switching leads, switching ties.
Leffler to serve. Kept up in the air by Lauren Baker. Blocked the net by Glendening. She'll control it. Now Sydney Nolan on the opposite side. Tapped up. Going to be returned. Lauren Baker. Frame dives and gets that one in the air. Glendening again. Off the hands of Chaussee. And up. Blocked to the net by Legia Williams, making her first appearance in any of the sets tonight and making an impact with the first block and the first point for Legia Williams tonight.
And you really got to give Frame some credit for keeping that play alive. She really had to get down low to get a dig on that ball and knock it up. Bearcats able to take advantage and get a point out of it.
11-9 Cincinnati lead. Leffler serves cleanly once again. Percoco had a good set. Leffler wanted a call on that one. Isn't going to get it. That'll be side out Akron. They'll make some substitutions as well.
looks like Loeffler did go and check with the official after the play. We just get a clarification.
11-10, Vitiskova serving for the Akron Zips. Controlled in the back corner by Glendening. Frame back to Glendening. Good job by Del Real to be in position for that one. Tapped over by Baker. Kept in the air by Caitlin Loeffler. Opposite side, Nolan. Controlled once again. Baker's going to return that off the top of Legia Williams' hands. Glendening is going to tap it over. Gabby Brissett blocked and then fell down. Couldn't control it on her way down.
There it is again. We see that light tap coming from Glendening. Just barely popped it over. Zips maybe had a chance to return it back, but just awkwardly played and again falling to the ground.
12-10, Cincinnati lead. Carly Glendening is serving. Del Real in position to keep it up. Opposite side, Gabby Brissett, really well placed. Out of the way of diving Faith Frame, and Fallon Stewart kind of ducked on that one.
Yeah, and that was just a great ball. Good strength, good power, and like you said, good placement. No Bearcat was close to it. Now again, 12-11 here. This set is staying close and competitive.
Lauren Baker serving for Akron. Loeffler's gonna set Sydney Nolan, block back over, Bearcat side, they'll control it. Flame to Stewart, blocked in the net and tapped over above the net. A nice play by Legia Williams. Now she'll get subbed out for Abby Walker, but she made her presence known in her time in the game.
Yeah, just a really nice tap over there. That play looking really, really nice. Bearcats able to extend out to a 2-point lead now.
We see Lily Gillespie come back into the match for the Bearcats, and Faith Frame will serve. Controlled and returned by Gabby Brissett and the Zips. Gillespie dives to keep that one up. Loeffler controls. Free ball over by Fallon Stewart. A little miscue on the return by Baker. She didn't mean to hit that one that far. It went over the net, and Abby Walker had an easy tap over.
Yeah, that one looked super easy for Walker. I mean, just a great play, able to take advantage. Just send that one straight into the dirt.
14-13, or 14-11, not 13. I don't know where I came up with that one. Gabby Brissett knocks that one out of bounds off the sideline. She was clearly aiming for that side, but just pushed that one a little bit too far to the right. 15-11, Bearcats take a lead and a timeout, Akron.
Yeah, the Bearcats were starting to extend their lead. I was just thinking, is Akron going to call a timeout after this big Bearcats run? And here we see it. It's kind of the way that it's been in this game. We saw it especially in that second set. Kind of a game of the timeouts when one team and another just kind of traded timeouts based off their different runs.
Yeah, a lot more tight volleyball being played. This has been a really fun game to watch and a really fun game to call. This one, I have a feeling this one's going to come down to the wire. I think we may be getting a set 5.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I mean, both of these teams have just played incredibly competitive through really set 2 and now set 3. I mean, Zips looking a little stronger in that first set, but I think the talent has really equalized out here in the second and third set. And I think you're spot on with that. I could see this coming down to 5.
Currently promoting UC women's basketball. We've got the women's coaching staff and some of the team in the crowd. They often are here to support the volleyball team. They were over at the Cintas Center just a week ago supporting the volleyball team on the road against Xavier. Now they're here once again. Of course, Bearcast Media will have coverage of the entirety of the men's and women's basketball season when that comes late in November, early in November. Seems like that's starting to creep up a little bit faster than I expect.
Yeah, it's really getting close. Basketball season, I mean, looking at two really good teams from both the men's and women's program. Definitely going to be an exciting couple of winter months.
Turning expectations for both programs.
Oh, absolutely.
Back to volleyball action. Frame is ready to serve, and she knocks that one over clean. Tapped in the air. Vitiskova on the other side. Right at Faith Frame. That's going to go to the scores to the broadcast table. Anthony Bazzini, the local ESPN Plus broadcaster for the Bearcats, had to duck out of the way of the ball over at the broadcast table. He looked scared for a moment.
Yeah, and Frame really was trying her best to save that one, but ball just going really far. 2 Bearcats rushed over there. That ball just kind of too far out of bounds for them to play.
Leffler to Nolan, kept alive in return. Leffler to Nolan, part 2, and that time it's a 1 by the Akron Zips down on the Cincinnati side. They've got 2 quick ones coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, and this is kind of the trend that we saw in that second set. Akron took a timeout, and really out of that timeout, they came out a lot stronger. We've really seen it here. They were able to equalize the game coming out of their timeout in that second set. 2 more points to do that here. We'll see if they can.
Carlea Jones serves that one into the top of the net, doesn't get the friendly net, and down on her side.
Maybe a little bit of an announcer's jinx there. Just talking about them trying to equalize things, and immediately serve goes straight into the net.
I'm okay with that, announcer jinx. We're allowed to be a slight bit biased. I mean, it is Bearcast Media after all. They give it right back. Sydney Nolan's going to serve that one too strong. We're back to exactly where we were before all the jinxes happened.
Yeah, looks like maybe a jinx coming from both sides, and we'll just act like we didn't say anything.
Martina Villani serving. 16-14. Cincinnati leads. Kept in the air by Nolan. Leffler, a little bit of missed time on the jump by Abby Walker. Jumped too early for that one, was falling as it was at its peak.
Yeah, and that's just kind of awkward, really unfortunate. Didn't play the ball quite right. Just like you said, a missed time jump, and it gives the Zips a point. Now they're only 1 away from tying this game up.
Villani taps that one in the top of the net again. Same as that serve by Carlea Jones.
And just, again, 2 serves in really close proximity there that go straight into the net. Really not favorable for the Zips, especially in a game that's been as close as this one.
Molly Alvey subs back in. Julie Whittakin to serve. Gets it over cleanly. Going to be returned by Prococo. Kept alive. And a great set and a extremely well-placed ball by Abby Walker. Smacked that one a little bit more towards the middle. No Akron Zip was ready for it there. And another timeout here called by Akron. They've fallen back down 18-15, 3-point deficit. They're trying to stay alive here in set 3 and take another set lead. The Bearcats don't want to let that happen.
Yeah, and the Bearcats have really started to prevail here. This is kind of the same storyline we saw in that second set. You saw how that went for the Bearcats. Ended up taking that one by, I think, 5. And Bearcats really just need to stay strong in this one. Zips trying the same timeout strategy, but Bearcats looking to stay strong, maybe take this third set if they can.
They've played a lot better ball since that first set. It was just not something that we're used to seeing. They were really making miscues, making mistakes. Since then, they've been playing tight, but that doesn't mean Akron's been going away. Set 2 was an extremely tight and well-played set by both squads. Same with set 3 here. If the Bearcats do end up coming away with this set, I don't expect Akron to make it easy to win that 4th one if they want to.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, we talked about earlier, this one could come down to 5. The Bearcats have looked good. They looked good taking that second set, looking good here in the third. But Zips, I mean, looking good themselves. We saw how that first set went, and we know they have the ability to take some sets.
Akron out back on the court a little bit early. Bearcats are going to take the full timeout and walk back out now. Julie Whittakin still serving. Tapped in the air by Baker. Going to be returned by the Zips. Tapped. Late call, they say it was deflected.
Yeah, just kind of an awkward play there. Not even really sure what happened, the way the ball fell. Just kind of
I think the
out.
main referee had called originally that it was out of bounds off Akron. However, They then reverse it, said it was deflected and tipped by the Bearcats. Does not matter. Happy Walker says reverse that. A kill to the back line with power.
And Walker has really looked great tonight. I mean, we've seen a couple of those just finding good space and able to slam straight into the ground. Just looking really impressive tonight for the Bearcats.
Walker serving, 19-16 lead in that one. Far and too strong off the back line. 19-17, Akron serving, Del Real. A powerful serve to the back line. Whittakin dives to keep that one alive. Nolan serves or hits it over. I believe they're going to call Akron into the net again. They had that earlier in the first set.
Now things are really coming down to the wire like we saw in the second set. 20-17 here. This is where the Bearcats really started to heat up. We'll see if they do it on this possession.
Leffler serve, going to be returned. Tapped in the air by Whittakin. Leffler set to Nolan. A diving rally Chaussee wasn't enough to keep that one up as it went towards the sideline, out of bounds. 21-17, Cincinnati leads, and another Akron timeout.
Yeah, and Bearcats really heating up. Now out to a 4-point lead, and I'm not shocked by this Akron timeout at all. It's really, they've just taken them after the runs. I mean, either side has been trying to work that timeout, get some of that momentum back if they can. But Bearcats, they were able to play through the timeout break last time. And we'll see what happens here towards the end of this third set.
Cincinnati 4 points away from taking set 3. I assume Molly Alvey is going to be talking some strategy in this timeout. Cincinnati still has both their timeouts left for this set, so if they want to use them down the stretch, they can. Akron, however, is out. This is their last one.
Yeah, and almost maybe calling it too early. I mean, still 4 points left in this game.
I expect to see Molly Alvey work in a few substitutions out of this one. At least one. Try to get in. Maybe you want to put in a few blockers. Legia Williams, maybe Zeta Washington back into the match and kind of stand strong at the front line at the net.
Zips again already back out on the floor, ready to get things rolling towards the end of this third set.
And they do put Legia Williams back in, so they are going to try to put one of their main blockers at the front line. Caitlin Leffler, the server. Gets it over to Chaussee. Return by Lauren Baker. Frame dives to keep that one in the air. Set. Leffler to Nolan. Blocked and back over. Frame's in position. This time, other side to Glendening. Kept alive in the air again by the Zips. Baker with another opportunity. Frame is right there. Glendening this time. Blocked in the net and kept alive. Rinse and repeat as that one finally goes off the top of the hands of Sydney Nolan and out of bounds. Akron point.
And again, we see one of those long volleys, and that time it was the Bearcats with the strong defense, but unfortunately just able to not quite hold up enough. Zips now starting to chip away, 3 points down.
Vitaskova serving for Akron. Taps it over. Glendening gets in the air. Light tap by Carly Jones over, able to be controlled. Return by Whittakin, free ball for the Zips. Set to Gabby Brissett. Kept alive by Whittakin. Tapped over by Glendening and off the hands of Lauren Baker.
And again, just great defensive work by the Bearcats. I mean, we saw a couple of great saves there. Not sure who it was, but somebody headed towards that scorer's table to make that save, and just incredible effort for the Bearcats.
22-18, Carly Glendening serves. Kept in the air by Chaussee. Set to Brissett. Keeps it alive. Leffler this time. It's Stewart. Blocked again at the net and will fall. Del Real not quick enough to dive to that one. 2 points away from the Bearcats taking this set.
Things really coming down to the wire here. This is where we saw the Bearcats heat up. They were able to close it out in set 2, 2 points away from now closing out a third set.
Glendoning's serve gets over cleanly, tapped in the air by Chaussee. Brissett hits that one over off the sideline and out of bounds. Set point for the Bearcats.
Bearcats now just 1 point away here from taking this third set, and really just not phased at all by losing the first. Just gotten a ton of that momentum back, taking the second and third. We'll see if they can carry that into the fourth.
Looks like they actually reversed the call. They're going to say it was tipped before it went out of bounds, so it is going to be Akron ball, 23-19. Baker serves, and they're back to set point. Baker hit that one in the net.
Yeah, and it really did not matter at all that the call was overturned, as we see the ball go straight to the net, and now it actually is set point for the Bearcats.
Faith Frame to serve. Bearcats looking to take set 3 and go up 2-1. Frame serve over, kept in the air by Del Real. The set blocked at the net, and on the Akron side, it's Abby Walker. Gives the Bearcats set 3 and a 2-1 lead.
And just another great, consistent way to finish out the set for the Bearcats, looking incredibly strong towards the end of that set, able to take it. Hopefully they can carry that into the fourth set.
Bearcats played really sound, solid ball at the end of that one, and they'll get to take a little bit of a break here before set 4 comes, as we will also take a break here on Bearcast Media. We'll return in about 2 minutes and 45 seconds for more volleyball from Fifth Third Arena.
And back here inside Fifth Third Arena, Bearcats taking on the Akron Zips. Bearcast Sports Media bringing you the game here. This has been a good one so far. Bearcats losing the first set, but then taking 2 after that. Those two both incredibly competitive sets coming from the Bearcats and the Zips.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great volleyball play tonight, and I don't expect it to change here for set 4. Cincinnati, they're going to be playing their best ball here, trying to take this match. They've looked a little rough at times, but a win is a win.
Yeah, and absolutely. And you really want to just keep the momentum rolling if you're the Bearcats. Like we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, 3-game homestand. The Zips will come out firing here. Serve coming, Bearcats pop this one up. Another one bounced up high, kill attempts coming. Good save by the Zips, popped up. Again pops up, Zips trying to fire back. Good dig from the Bearcats. Again, another attempt. Zips will continue to dig and save. This one going way out of bounds. Bearcats trying to make a save for it, but just too much. Diving attempt made at the end, but not quite enough.
Good effort there by Whittakin and Frame to try to get to that one. But like you said, just out of the reach and not able to get to it in time.
Zips will take a 1-0 lead. And out there is Vitiskova to serve. This one far, going towards the left side. Zips hit it back right over the net, now popped up by the Bearcats. Attempts coming, this one way in the back right corner. Nobody around for the Zips to even make a chance at saving it.
A well-placed ball. Carly Glending's been hitting the balls really well tonight. Don't expect that to change. When she's serving here, it's an opportunity to keep smacking the ball and keep getting some points.
Bearcats now on the serve, getting this one over dead center. Zips will pop it up, going towards the left side, dig made. Bearcats now hitting it over, this one going far, way up high, ball almost hitting the scoreboard. Zips will pop this up, ball coming, block made, nearly dangerous there. Bearcats now will loft this one over. Ball at the middle, kill attempt coming, good block again at the net. Save coming in at the last second. Again, Bearcats will try to slam one through, same spot as last time.
There we go. This time it's Fallon Stewart making her presence known. She's been a little quiet tonight, but I expect her to come on strong here when the Bearcats need her the most.
Bearcats again back to serve. This one going over the net. Zips will pop it up, going straight into the ground. Now the Zips get a ball with no one around.
Yeah, I mean, the Bearcats left a hole in the middle of their defense on that one, and the Zips saw it and took advantage.
Zips now back on the serve. They'll be out with Baker. Baker launching this one high. Now going over, just blocked at the net, goes straight into the ground. Bearcats get a free one.
There's Legia Williams. She's only played in two of the four sets tonight. Didn't play in the first two, and hasn't played that many points. But when she's been in, she's made a big difference, making blocks, hitting the ball over, well placed, and getting a point for the Bearcats on that one.
Bearcats out to serve with Frame. Ball popped up by the Zips. This one high. Kill attempt coming too far. They'll say it was out.
I thought from that angle that might have hit line and been in. It actually hit the referee in the corner. He had to dive out of the way, and it still hit him in the knees.
Frame again on the serve, launching this one far to her opposite side. Zips pop it up, slam down into the ground. Block made at the net. Bearcats will take yet another point. Sorry, Zips getting this one. Ball must have gone out of bounds at the end there.
Yeah, it was blocked out of bounds off of Abby Walker.
Zips now will get the serve back. Jones here serving. Going back towards the middle. Frame pops it up. Again, pop up by Leffler now. Ball going over the net, but Zips able to make a block. Good block coming, and things again getting tied here.
Another set of tight volleyball being played. This is fun to watch.
This has been some great volleyball for sure, and just awkward ball coming off the hands. And Zips now taking a lead.
Yeah, just a mistake there by Sydney Nolan. I think she was focused too much on where she was going to hit that ball and not focused enough on actually making sure she hit the ball.
Zips will serve again with Jones. This one towards the left side of the Bearcats. Now they'll pop it up. Chance to put this one into the ground. Good save. Ball hitting the top of the scoreboard. Now going over. Good block made at the net, but wasn't quite good enough. Again, the ball will go out of bounds in favor for the Zips.
Yeah, another ball hitting the top of the scoreboard or the bottom of the scoreboard, and those can be hard to read sometimes. You don't know how it's going to bounce. Fifth Third Arena isn't exactly well built for volleyball with this massive vision scoreboard.
And good play by the Bearcats to get out of the way. Jones served it and just went too far. All the Bearcats just got out of the way, let that one sail over.
You saw on that one, Lily Gillespie dolphin dove to the floor to avoid hitting that serve.
Yeah, that was the big thing I noticed. Everyone hit the dart. Good serve coming. Zips popping it up at the net now. Slamming attempt coming. Frame tries to make a save, but it gets just up, back, and behind her.
That was a little miscommunication on the defense. Frame was in position for it. Gillespie kind of caught in front and tried to take it and pulled away last second, but that impaired Frame's vision of the ball, and she wasn't able to position herself.
Zips will be back to serve with Viliani. Up 7-5 in this fourth set. Zips will launch this one far towards the left side of the Bearcats. Now going over towards the right side. Pop over the net. No one is there to save it for the Zips. And the Bearcats will take a point.
Well, smart play by the veteran Abby Walker. She's played a lot of volleyball in her career. A lot of volleyball here for Cincinnati. Those are the type of plays that she recognizes and nobody else does.
Bearcats now down 1. They'll be out to serve with Whittekins. She'll serve it to the Zips left side. Popped up. Now at the net played. Bearcats not able to get it back over. And Zips will get the point. Akron now will serve with Chasse. Ball going up and over to her opposite side. Frame pops it up now. Leffler. Leffler to the left side. Now back over on the Zips. Zips able to make a save. They'll get a chance now. Slamming it down. Block at the net. Point for the Bearcats.
And you saw after that one, Abby Walker turned around and got a hype, trying to pump up the energy of her teammates on the court.
Bearcats now on the serve. This is Walker. Walker towards the middle of the line. Block made at the line, at the net by the Bearcats. Bearcats now on the left side. Light tap over. And Bearcats will take another point and tie things up.
There we go. They're starting to catch steam. Carly Glendening again. She's had a really, really good night of volleyball.
Again, Walker to serve. She'll put this one over towards the left side. Zips pop it up. Popped up at the net now. Going over. No one in the area to save it for the Bearcats.
Walker dove and was close to getting that one. It hit the ground about at the same time that she got to it.
Well-placed ball by the Zips. Now it'll be Del Real to serve. She'll put this one to her opposite side. Ball popped in the air. Leffler has it. Kill made. This one gets a point for the Bearcats.
Legia Williams back in for this one. I expect to see her a lot more in set 4. She's already played more points in this set than I think she has in the that last set.
Leffler now serving. She'll put it at the back middle. Zips pop it up now at the net, trying to slam it down. Good save made by the Bearcats. This one goes high. Leffler again popping it up. Left side kill attempt made. Blocked by the Zips. Zips now kill attempt of their own. This one just barely making it in. The Zips will take a point.
Akron not going away, not shying away from the moment. They take the lead back.
Zips will serve over. Dig made by the Bearcats, popped up. Slam way too far. Just a little bit too much power coming. Zips take a 2-point lead.
Yeah, and Glendening was aiming for the very, very, very back corner and just couldn't get that aim right.
Zips now back to serve. This one goes to the left side. Dangerous save made by the Bearcats. Now attempt made by the Zips to save the ball, but it's no good. Flies way out of bounds. Bearcats now will be on the serve. There's Glendening. Glendening puts it back to the middle. She gets an ace.
Carly Glendening continuing up her big night. She's had, I think, 2 or 3 aces tonight. She came into this match with 5.
Glenning again to serve. Tie game 11-11 here. Ball going back towards the right side. Zips pop it up. Zips at the net, trying to make a kill. Block made by the Bearcats. Awkward playing at the net. Now this one goes far back into Bearcats territory. Leffler puts it up. Kill made, and the Bearcats will take another point and the lead.
Starting to heat up here in set 4. The momentum has shifted to their side. The crowd is behind them. Could this be where we finally see a team go on a run tonight? We have not had a run, besides for the very opening of the game.
Glenning places that one in the back right. Now Akron has it, and a perfectly placed ball over into the back right corner of Bearcats territory. And Zips just doing a great job with the placement there. Things will go back to tied. Zips on the serve. This is Baker. Baker puts it over to the left side of the Bearcats. Again now from the left side. Back and forth game. Zips just putting one too far out of bounds. Gives the Bearcats back the lead.
A little bit of an awkward play. Everyone just kind of popped up and floated over and out of bounds. Everyone just kind of watched it fall. We all knew what it was going to be.
Frame now will be serving. Solid serve over to her same side. Zips now popping it up, trying to slam it down. And they do. Nobody in the area yet again for the Bearcats. Tie ball game now.
I mean, Akron's fighting for their life on this one. They lose this set, they lose the game.
Akron serve goes to the back middle of the Bearcats. Now popped up, this one high. Kill attempt made. Nice block by the Zips. Just incredible work there to get a point.
That was Melissa Torre, their 6'3" from Istanbul, Turkey. The senior getting up and high for that block.
Zips up one. Jones back to serve. Jones puts this one high. Overweight, too high. Bearcats again get a point. Again, things are tied here.
And silly mistakes like that could cost Akron the game. They're going to want to play sound and solid and not have mistakes like that happen anymore.
Bearcats get on the serve here, tie game. Zips making a save there, had to get way low for it. Now just popping one light over the net. Leffler with a good set and an even better kill. And Walker just continues a dominant night.
I mean, Walker is the leader of this volleyball team. She's always in the huddle, hyping her team up. Tonight, she's had a really, really good game. A lot of solid points, a lot of kills.
Cats take a lead. It looks like a timeout is called. And I mean, the competitiveness of this game has really come down to it here in this fourth set.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all night. No team's been able to get out to a run. No team's been able to get out to a big lead. Ever since set 1, it's just been tight volleyball being played between both these squads. Neither one giving any bit of breathing room to the other team. That's continuing here in set 4. I expect that to continue all the way until the match is over and we're heading home.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really has come down to it in this fourth set. You said it, neither team allowing the other to breathe. I mean, we've really just seen a great game of back and forth, and this has been some great volleyball here in Fifth Third Arena tonight.
The Bearcats and Molly Alvey would like to try to string a few together in a row just to give themselves a little more of a cushion. I don't expect Akron to let them go on a full-blown run of more than 5, but if you can even string maybe 2 or 3 together in a row here, you kind of have a little bit of wiggle room to work with for the rest of the set.
Yeah, and that cushion is really what has been successful for the Bearcats and really allowed them to take that second and third set. I mean, we saw them get up maybe only 3 or 4, but that really carried to the end of the game and let them take both sets. Zip popped up by the Zips. Zips now looking for a chance to slam it. Bearcats, though, nice block at the line. Zips another pop-up, this one going far over to the other side. Another set by Leffler. Good save, though, by the Zips to keep it alive. It's popped up. Now this one going straight down. Bearcats working to save it. Nice block at the line from Leffler. Ball now falling just over from the Zips. Kill attempt coming from that far left side for the Bearcats. Now a kill attempt coming from the right side for the Zips, and they're able to take this one and tie things up yet again.
Perfectly placed, back line, out of the reach of Lily Gillespie. Akron, they had that one queued up.
Zips will be out to serve, this time with Viliani. Tie ball game. Strong serve to the left side. Leffler pops it up. Walker here gets another kill.
Abby Walker is so good hitting on the move. She was running, jumping in the air on her way to get that one and placed it well back to her left side.
Bearcats now serving. Zips popping this one up high towards the middle. Attempt at the right, but a better block by the Bearcats. Bearcats taking a 2-point lead, and this is kind of that cushion they're starting to get here that we were just talking about. Whittakind has it, puts it over the left side, just barely gets over the net. Good dig by the Zips. This one going over the net. 3 diving attempts made by the Bearcats, but none able to get under it.
That was a close play, just about hit the floor as Cincinnati got to it. They kept play. They played through just in case, but that one hit the ground.
Zips now will be on the serve, this time with Chausse. Chausse puts this one across the court. Leffler now does it herself, puts it straight into the ground for a Bearcats point.
It's about the 4th or 5th time tonight Caitlin Leffler's done that. Her signature move at this point, and she keeps it rolling.
Yeah, really just impressive work coming from Leffler tonight. I mean, overall, just a great game so far. Really, these teams have just come out to play tonight, come out to battle. Akron not coming in with the best record, but giving these Bearcats a run for their money.
Yeah, they've definitely overplayed their record. Akron, I mean, this isn't one of those cases where you've got a better team going against a worse team and they kind of played down to their level. This is not one of those cases at all. Akron has come in and outplayed their record by far. I mean, if the Bearcats have played the best volleyball possible, Akron wouldn't have gone down easy. They have played sound, solid, no mistakes, and aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, this Zips team has looked absolutely phenomenal and has really given the Bearcats a tough challenge tonight. The Zips are out there. Looks like Chausse is ready to serve.
They're waiting on a little confirmation from the referees at the scorer's table. And it looks like we will get that call to start back up.
Chausse has this one. Puts it towards the back middle. Awkward play by the Bearcats, sliding into the scorer's table was Whittakind, trying to make a save on it, but was not able to, just knocking it out of bounds.
There's some miscommunication on the first hit of whether Faith Frame or Sydney Nolan was going to go for that one. Frame ended up letting Nolan get to that one, and it kind of led to her getting to it late and knocking that one out of bounds. Tough play for Whittakind to try to get to.
Chausse on the serve. Frame and Whittakind hitting it. Now on this left side, just barely tapped with the fingertips. Didn't even really intend to do it, but it worked out.
And you saw Carly Glendening turn around and have a big smile on her face after that one. You can tell she swung and missed, but it went her way. She found it pretty funny.
And really just things working out for the Bearcats. So now Walker will serve. She serves to her opposite side. Zips have it. Block trying to be made. Bearcats with an incredible save. Whittakind able to pop it up. Now over on the Zips, they'll have another chance, but another block coming by the Bearcats.
The Bearcats are calling that one was tipped by the Zips before going out of bounds, and we are going to get a review.
We'll have our first review of the match, and it definitely did look really close over on that far side. And we saw a ball played there earlier that was a little close as well, one that actually ended up getting overturned. Originally thought it was a Bearcats point, ended up going in favor of the Zips. We'll see what happens here after the review. Bearcats bench getting into the dancing here, feeling hype. Down to business though in the huddle on the court. And Zips all business over on the opposite side.
I definitely thought there was a chance that one could have been tipped. My initial thought was that it was, and it was going to be Cincinnati ball. Obviously, we're not getting the review here on the screen. That's just for the referees down at the scores table. And we don't have the best angle as well. But the whole entire Bearcats team was calling for it. A few people in the stands was calling for it as well. I think there may be a chance this one does get turned to a Bearcat point.
Yeah, it definitely was really close. Initially, I thought that it was tipped. But it looks like we'll see after the review here from the officials. And really a big call here at this point in the game. This is the make or break set for Akron. And Bearcats with a chance to close things out if they can here.
Yeah, this determines a lot. I mean, it's 1 point, but at the end of the day, 1 point could win you the game.
Officials definitely taking their time at the scorer's table, reviewing this call, making sure they get it right. Still haven't quite come to a verdict yet here. Crowd trying to get hyped up here, hype up their Bearcats. Definitely would be huge. Still awaiting a call, must have been incredibly close. We mentioned we weren't really sure from up here and kind of split overall on what everyone thought the call was. Still just trying to come to a decision down there looking over the play. Finally, we do get a verdict, and it looks like the point will go in favor of the Bearcats.
They reversed it, saw that there was a tip on the Akron side. The Bearcats bench saw it better than anyone else. They were the first to call it, and they were right.
Bearcats will serve up 19-18. Looking for a chance to close this one out here soon, but Zips are going to make it difficult on them. Bearcats not able to get under that one. Notably, Walker will check out. Zips now will serve. Whittakin pops this one up high into the sky. Again, another pop up high. Bearcats knocking this one far over the court. Zips trying for the kill. Good knock up by Frame. Leffler now hitting it over to that left side. Zips, though, able to make a save. High ball. Attempt from the Zips, but good save made by the Bearcats. Again, another attempt here. This one going too far. Nice block by the Zips. Now block at the line. Leffler able to save it at the last second. Frame comes up now, knocking just barely over the line. And it looks like the Zips will take a point.
I mean, what a volley that was. A lot of action back and forth. Eventually the Bearcats, and when a volley goes for that long, you can kind of drift out of position, and that's what happened to the Cincinnati side. They drifted a little bit too far, and nobody was there to keep that one up.
And really just came at the end, a block by the Zips going just over the net and out of bounds. Now it looks like we will have a timeout called. Zips up 1 here. And I mean, this game really hasn't deviated from more than 1 or 2 point deficit for either team.
Yeah, and I like this timeout call here by Molly Alvey. I think if you're going to use 1 or 2 for this set, this is a great time to do it. There's no reason to not use your timeouts. I think all 3 of the timeouts left, 1 by Cincinnati, 2 by Akron, will end up being used by the time this set is over. This is the perfect time for Cincinnati to call their first one. I think you kind of save that second one for later in the set, maybe even calling it before a set point, potentially, if you get to that situation, just to get a breather, get some water, get a rest, and get a little talk to. But right now, you got to get back on track. You're down 1. You want to string a few together, bring back to the lead, and then you got to play solid. Got to play a look to your defense. You do not want to give up easy points. You don't want to make mistakes.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. I mean, I think that it was a perfectly placed timeout. Just kind of, like you said, getting collected here going towards the end of this set, and you do still have 1 in your back pocket if things get a little close towards the end. Get our score here, 20-19 in favor of the Zips. Del Real to serve. Takes her time, puts this one up high, far to the left side. Winnikin popping it up. Now Leffler. Frame able to pop it up at the net. Now Zips wanting to play the net. And that one very close, but it does stay in bounds. And Zips now extending their lead a little further. Del Real again on the serve. This one going to the left side. Leffler pops this one up. Good block but by the Zips, but a good save by Whittakin towards the end. Zips now again have it. They'll pop it up. Kill attempt coming. This one too far, going in favor of the Bearcats.
He had a good job by LaGio Williams and Carly Glennon to pull away from the block attempt, because if they had tipped that one, that would have been tough for anyone to get to in the back line.
Leffler is out to serve for the Bearcats, 20-21 in favor of the Zips. Zips now have it, putting this one to the far left side. Frame diving, not able to save it though. Zips now up 2. Starting to come down to the wire here in this 4th set.
Yeah, and Akron playing strong. They want this one. They don't want to go home.
Zips have it. Vitiskova will be out to serve. Seen solid success from her serving tonight. She'll put this one directly across from her. Popped up high for the Bearcats. Chance coming. This one, good ball from the Bearcats. Played poorly by Chaussee. Not able to quite get enough arm under it and goes backwards behind her.
Yeah, and Glendening reared back all the way to get that one and put everything she had into it. And it was just too strong for Chaussee.
This is Glendening on the serve. She'll go to her left side, and Zips smartly don't play it Glendening too much.
Yeah, and that's one that Carly Glendening is going to want back. Just a simple mistake.
Zips now back on the serve. Baker has it this time. She'll put it across from her on an awkward ball from the Bearcats. Stewart there, she's not able to play it quite right. Now it's 24-21. And looks like we'll see the Bearcats call their final timeout.
Yeah, and this is about what I expected. You're going to save that second timeout for a potential set point situation. Obviously, you kind of hope that it was for your set point to be able to win this one. Akron's up 24-21. They have set point for the next few. Molly Alvey's going to want to change a few things. It really comes down to self-inflicted mistakes. I mean, the missed serve, miscommunications on handling a serve, those are type of things that you have to fix, and you can't afford to have those mistakes in a close match.
Yeah, and I think that missed serve is really one of the big ones. It's just really unfortunate. Bearcats had a chance there. I mean, we've seen them take off towards the end of these sets. They get into this high 20 range. Really have been able to finish it from there. Might have had it, but instead, Zips kind of in territory here, about to take this set. Bearcats ready and excited to get back out onto the floor. still only down 3. 4 away from taking the set themselves. Not completely out of reach. Just really going to have to dig deep for it.
Yeah, it looks like they didn't have too much to talk about. They were out there with about 30 seconds to go.
Baker will continue to serve for the Zips. Zips need 1 to take the set and take us to 5. Put it over to the left side. Bearcats popping it up. Leffler at the line. Slam coming. Blocked, though, by the Zips. Frame putting this one up. Ball going back. Now popped up by the Zips. Zips trying to go down, and they will get it. Blocking attempt by the Bearcats, but not quite good enough. And the Zips will take this fourth set, and we'll be going to 5.
I mean, it's about as close of a game of volleyball as you can get between two great clubs. Cincinnati's played strong all night. Akron's played strong all night. They clawed their way back, fought to get to a set 5. They're staying alive, playing for their life. And now Cincinnati's also going to have to play for their life in the final set. We got about a 2-minute 45 break before we'll return for an abbreviated set 5. College volleyball set 5s are 2:15. I may be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I remember from last year. But we will see when we get there. We'll return in about 2 minutes and 40 seconds on Bearcast Media. Back here in Fifth Third Arena, we've had close volleyball being played all night between the Cincinnati Bearcats and the Akron Zips, and it's led us to this set 5 to 15 points. Win or go home. This will be fun. Pump It Up being played. The crowd on their feet. They're loud. The team is dancing. They're excited. The energy in the building is immaculate.
Yeah, and you know, it just makes sense that this one is going to 5 sets. It's been competitive throughout. It just feels right at this point. I mean, we've been back and forth throughout. Hopefully, though, Bearcats able to come out and prevail. We saw 2 really good second and third sets coming from them in a really competitively played 4th set.
To start on the floor for set 5, we're going to see Fallon Stewart, Abby Walker, Sydney Nolan, Lily Gillespie, Caitlin Leffler, and serving Faith Frame. Frame gets it over cleanly. Knocked in the air, return by Lauren Baker in the Zips. Kept alive by Leffler. Set up, Sydney Nolan, light tap, diving Del Real, tough play, 3 hits and not able to be gotten over by the Zips.
That's solid. Bearcats able to get on the board first. Just a nice light tap, and Zips not really sure what to do with it. Bounced between the hands of a couple of them before finally hitting the ground.
Frame, another clean serve. Return this time by Carleigh Jones, and a right off of Caitlin Leffler's arms and out of bounds. That's just a tough play. It's hit directly at you and really fast.
Yeah, and that's just really unfortunate. You can't really do much if you're Leffler there. It just bounced off her left hand and just went flying in the opposite direction.
Vidaskova serving for Akron. Leffler set to Walker. Perfectly placed, perfectly timed. Side out Cincinnati.
And now we see the awkward ball going off the hand of an Akron player. It's kind of a taste of their own medicine there. Bearcats up 2-1.
Sydney Nolan, the server. A backline serve to control. They set it up Brissett, light tap over, and that one's well placed. Caitlin Leffler was up at the net and not back to get that one.
And just a really nice block coming from Akron there. Placed very well, just over the head. He's able to fall down right behind.
Lauren Baker serving for the Zips. She did a really good night of volleyball. Has to be tapped over and a miscommunication by Nolan and Gillespie. That when it barely grazed the scoreboard, it fell down right in between them.
Yeah, and that's just difficult. We talked about it earlier when the ball gets played off the scoreboard, and we saw it there, especially off the corner of the scoreboard. Just kind of sends it in a random direction. That's exactly what we saw happen right there.
Gillespie controls the serve. Set. Leffler to Stewart, right in the heart of the Akron side.
And that is what you want right there. That gets you some of that momentum, ties things up, and that's exactly what you need in that moment for the Bearcats.
Julie Wittekind back in to serve for Cincinnati. We're tied 3-3, 2 sets to 2. Low grazing serve, controlled, returned by Akron. Nolan keeps it alive. Leffler set up high to Glendening. Del Real pops it up. Return blocked in the net. Kept up by diving Wittekind. Going to be returned by Glendening. Free ball Akron. Carleigh Jones blocked the net. Another opportunity. This time lightly tapped over. Controlled by Frame. Leffler sets. Abby Walker blocked by Carleigh Jones. Return by the Zips. Wittekind dives to keep it alive once again. Leffler, Glendening, blocked at the net and down on the Akron side. What a volley and what a point for the Bearcats.
And I mean, you just have to give so much credit to Wittekind there. 2 absolutely phenomenal diving saves to keep the volley alive for the Bearcats and able to get a point out of it. Just incredibly impressive work from Julie Wittekind.
If that one kept going on any longer, I might have lost my voice on that one play alone. A little bit of discussion between the referee and the Akron head coach. We're going to have a review here. Potentially, only thing I can really think of is if the ball landed in or out of bounds off the block, but I'm fairly certain that landed in bounds.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty certain as well. I'm not quite sure what they could be looking at here.
This was initiated after the Akron head coach went over and started a discussion with the head referee at the scorer's table. So maybe he had seen something that he wanted them to take a look at.
Yeah, not quite sure what he could have really seen at all. They are checking in down there, reviewing the play.
Reminder, this does not go down as one of Akron's timeouts. This was a referee-initiated timeout.
Looks like we do get a verdict, and the point will stay with Cincinnati. Not really a shock there.
Yeah, I kind of expected that. I'm still not sure exactly what they were looking at, but they decided the Bearcats will keep it. Will still be Julie Whittakin serve. We tapped high in the air and returned and smacked into the net by Christian Dulu.
Bearcats just getting a little lucky there. That ball going straight into the net, extending that lead further. At 1/3 of the way there.
5-3, Cincinnati leads. Whittakin still serving, tapped in the air by Baker. Christian Dulu this time well placed off to the right side of Julie Whittakin. She couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, and a perfectly placed ball. That one just going towards the back right of the Bearcats territory. No one in the area to get to it. Zips now down 1.
Carliana Jones serves. Controlled, tapped up Leffler to Glendening. Well placed out of the reach of Carliana Jones. Carly Glendening has had a spectacular night.
Yeah, and we've seen Glendening work that left side all night. She's been incredibly effective there all night, and we just see it again. Just another great kill coming from Glendening.
Abby Walker to serve for the Bearcats. They lead by 2, 6-4. Brissett is set up. Diving effort by Sydney Nolan, but that one's not able to be controlled. She got it up in the air, but it was just far out of bounds.
Yeah, and it was a great try, but I don't think she could get under it quite quick enough. Got maybe just the front of her fists under it, but just kind of sent it out in an odd direction.
Martina Villani serving for Akron. 6-5, Cincinnati leads. That one knocked in the air. Frame knocks it high off the scoreboard. A little bit of an adjustment for Sydney Nolan. She gets it over. Return by Akron. Nolan dives, keep it alive. Leffler to Glendening. Lightly tapped in the back sideline. Well placed. Carly Glendening saw an opening in the defense and placed it right where she wanted it.
That was a great play. We saw Williams initially jump. Looked like she was going to try to hit it, but ended up being Nolan that was able to get the kill there. Again, we just saw a little bit of that misdirection.
Leffler to serve. Bearcats lead 7-5 and make that 8-5. Carly Glendening with an easy tap over the net. Timeout, Akron.
And we just see Glendening continuing to impose her will over on that far side, and she has just been incredibly dominant there tonight.
If you're the Bearcats, you've got to like the position that you're in right now. Leading 8-5, actually they do switch sides when you reach the midway point between this set 5 with 15 points. Bearcats reached 8, so they will switch sides and play the rest of the set like this. So as I was saying, if you're Molly Alvey and the Bearcats, you got to feel good with the position that you've put yourself in. You've won more sets on the opposite side from us than they have on the close side, and that's where they're going to finish this one off. Starting on our side, they dropped set 1, and then they went back and took set 2 on the opposite side, took set 3 on our side, and then dropped again, swapped back and forth.
Bearcats up 8-5, and this is kind of the lead they got out to when we saw them take those second and third sets. We talked about it in the fourth set, get out to that cushion, you know, get a little bit of breathing room, and that really has been successful for them. We'll see if they're able to take that and run with it, take this fifth and final set and the game.
.20 seconds left in the timeout. Akron back on the court already. Cincinnati taking their full breather time. We see the same group back on the court. Caitlin Leffler to serve. Gets it over cleanly. Baker taps it in the air. Set up, blocked in net by Legia Williams, controlled by Leffler. Frame to Nolan. Light tap over, well placed, but kept alive by the Zips. Miraculous return. It'll be Nolan for a second opportunity. Akron, good up and return. Blocked to the net and down.
And wow, I thought Nolan had it initially on that first one. You got to give credit on Akron to make the save on that play. I mean, great save, didn't really end up mattering though. Bearcats able to finish it off with a block there and take the point.
8-6. Akron trailing by 2. Riley Chaussee substitutes in to take the serve. Reminder, this set 5 goes to 15 points only. 15. Leffler set, smacked to the ground by Carly Glendening.
And Glendening again with just a nice, well-placed ball. Nobody at all in the area. She's able to hammer that one into the ground.
9-6, back up to a 3-point lead for Cincinnati. Serving is Glendening. Return right to the ground in front of a diving Faith Frame. Lauren Baker gets that one.
And I mean, this back and forth really continues. Zips now only down 2. I mean, this game will come down to as close as it can get.
Del Real serving for the Akron Zips. The libero gets it over. Fallon Stewart keeps it alive. Miss Q, Legia Williams taps it over. Faith Frame, a good read as that one was knocked out of bounds.
Great work by Frame there, good patience. Saw the ball coming, knew that it would go out of bounds, just backed off of it. Bearcats take the point.
Faith Frame to serve. They're up 10-7. Frame gets it over cleanly. They set up Lauren Baker. Off the hands of Abby Walker, kept alive. Frame has to tap it over. Free ball for the Zips. They set it up. Baker again. Light tap. Leffler keeps it alive. Frame to Nolan. Smacked and kept alive by Riley Chaussee. Now they set up Lauren Baker for a third time. Diving Fallon Stewart isn't able to get to it.
Good work by the Zips there to make a couple of saves, then turn it into offensive success. I mean, that's really the game plan that you want. And really a time when you want to start racking up these points here, now only down 2. So where the Zips have been able to go on a run. We saw it especially in that 4th set. We'll see how things go in the 5th.
Vitiskova serving. Leffler sets Fallon Stewart. Del Real knocks it in the air. And this time Lauren Baker on the other side. Blocked the net by Walker, kept alive. Leffler sets. Stewart again, blocked by Brissett. This is going to be returned by Faith Frame. Free ball for the Zips. A really well-placed set. You thought that one was going to go to the opposite side to Lauren Baker. Carlea Jones takes and smacks that one to the ground. The Bearcats weren't ready for her to take that one. They were waiting for Lauren Baker.
Yeah, just really well placed for sure. And now we get a timeout called. Zips now only down 1.
Yeah, this is a really, really, really good time for Molly Alvey to use one of her 2 timeouts here. You were up 10-7. Now it's 10-9. You gave up those 2 in a row. You want to get your team back on track, get a breather. Say, hey, listen, we're not down and out of this yet. We're still in the lead by 1. We're still in control. We're at home. You guys just need to play sound and solid, and we'll come away with this one.
Bearcats do have 1 timeout left as well. Again, kind of similar scenario to the end of the 4th with the timeout usage. Hopefully, though, Bearcats able to just be on top this time.
Yeah, Akron still has both of theirs left. They've elected to save their timeouts for the end of these sets in this game.
Yeah, and
30 seconds to go, and the Bearcats are already back out in the court.
You have to imagine if there's any sort of run at all from the Bearcats, whether it be 2 or 3 at this point, you got to imagine Akron will take that timeout, and they still got 1 more in their back pocket for potentially a last-second save at set point.
Akron taking their full time in the huddle. 10 seconds on the clock. They're just now standing up and getting ready to go out. We'll see serving for the Akron Zips, Weliska Vitiskova. Serves that one over, knocked in the air by Stewart. She gets out of the way. Leffler pops it up. Stewart's got it out. Too strong off the back line.
An unfortunate miscue by the Bearcats, just too strong. Now things are all tied up.
10-10, 2 sets to 2. Coming down to the wire. Vitaskova serve, knocked in the air by Stewart. Leffler to Walker, knocked around and gonna be returned by the Zips. It's Lauren Baker. Diving, kept up by Stewart. That one's gonna go over. Returned by Brissett, blocked to the net. Down, off of Fallon Stewart. Point, Akron.
And Akron really looking good coming out of the Bearcats timeout. I mean, 3 straight here. Now with the lead.
Vitaskova serves that one. Tough read, but good job to get to it. Abby Walker knocks this one down. Chaussee dives to keep it alive. Return, Lauren Baker. Right to Faith Frame. Leffler, Walker taps and pokes that one. A miscommunication as both Brissett and Del Real went for it. 11-11 Bearcat point.
There's that light tap. We've seen it a couple of times. Perfectly played right there. That's exactly when you need it. You force that miscue. You end up taking a point off of it, and you tie this game back up.
Sydney Nolan to serve. Gets it over. Del Real controls. They tap it. Gabby Brissett out of the reach of Lily Gillespie.
Perfectly placed in favor of the Zips.
12-11. Akron leads in set 5 to 15 points. They're trying to come into the Bearcats' house and take a win. Knocked in the air. Stewart is going to give it to the other side. Sydney Nolan taps it over. Set. Knocked into the net and down on the Akron side. A mistake by Krista Dulu. 12-12. We'll get some substitutions for the Bearcats. We see Glendinning and Whittakin come back in. Whittakin came in to serve.
Bearcats now able to take a point off of a miscue from Akron. Really just need to take advantage here.
Whittakin serve, tapped in the air. Knocked over by Brissett. Going to be returned by Sydney Nolan. Brissett for a second time, and this one too strong off the sideline on the left. Bearcat point, 13-12. Things are coming down to the wire.
Bearcats again, fortunately getting a point off of a miscue by Akron. This is exactly what they want. Just need to stay consistent here for these last 2 points.
Whittakin serve, controlled by Baker. Set up on the opposite side, Chris Adulu. Returned and tapped over by Gabby Brissett. Nobody was in the middle. Back to 13 tied.
And unfortunately just a little misplayed by the Bearcats. After the dive, I mean, it was just perfectly set up there for Brissett to play it. Just lightly tapped it over. Was able to fall to the ground.
We're going to see Carleana Jones serve for the Akron Zips. All tied up. Serves it over. Out of bounds. A costly mistake by Carleana Jones.
Again, Bearcats incredibly fortunate off of a Zips miscue. 14-13 match point here for the Bearcats. Looks like we'll see a timeout called.
Yeah, this is a good timeout by Akron. You have to get your team back on track because if you lose one more point, you've lost the game and you're heading home empty. No moral victories, not in Fifth Third Arena. You come away with the win or you come away with a loss.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bearcats looking to keep that win, keep this home winning streak alive, and looking to carry that momentum into their next home game on the 19th.
Fans on their feet and energized, supporting their team, pumping up the energy in the arena.
And all night, this Bearcats crowd has been huge in supporting their team. Definitely a great crowd coming out tonight.
as we are getting close to wrapping things up here on a volleyball night. Shout out to all 181 of you who have tuned in for this volleyball match. It's been a great viewership, great time getting to broadcast this game for you all. Hopefully, for our sake, the Bearcats can come away with a win and top this one off with a great night.
Yeah, hopefully indeed. Match point 14-13. Looking for an electric finish for this one.
Abby Walker will be the one to serve it for the Bearcats.
One point will do it.
Walker gets that one up and over cleanly. Baker taps it in the air. Set. Christodoulou knocked to the ground. Kept alive. Diving Glendening. Free ball over by Whittakin. This time tapped over. Melissa Torre keeps it alive for the Akron Zips.
And I mean, wow, that one could have been over earlier, but a nice play made. Just a little bit better offense from the Zips. They were able to find another hole there. Just put it way on that far left side. Tie this game up 14-14.
Martina Villani serving for the Akron Zips. Whittakin pops in the air. Set. Leffler. Glendening. Tapped. Tough one to get to. Baker's going to get to it. Knocked over by Christodoulou. Blocked at the net and out of bounds.
And now we flip the script a little bit. Zips match point now, and we'll get a timeout called.
Molly Alvey using her last timeout of the match. Cincinnati backed in a corner. Just a minute ago, they had the chance to win it all. Now, they're going to have 1 point to stay alive.
Very solid use of the timeouts for sure. This is exactly the type of moment you want to have one saved for. Bearcats able to take one, collect themselves, and prepare for a good stand here.
.30 seconds left in this timeout. Both teams still in the huddle, taking all of the time they can get, as this one could potentially be over in a matter of 45-ish seconds.
Yeah, and it's really going to come down to this. I mean, Bearcats looking to just keep the momentum alive. They've played very strong all throughout this game, all throughout this last set especially. Just definitely needing to step up right now.
We see out on the court, Glendening, Nolan, Williams, Frame, Leffler, and Whittakin for the Bearcats. Serving is going to be Martina Villani for the Akron Zips. They've got match point here. Serve over by Villani, tapped up by Whittakin. Leffler sets, Glendening keeping the game alive. Carly Glendening.
And just great work by Glendening there. See her working that left side. Ties things back up for the Bearcats. That's huge in this moment.
Caitlin Leffler to serve for Cincinnati. Gets it over. Baker dives to keep it alive. Tapped over lightly. Leffler keeps it up. Frame. Glendening. Off the hands of Baker, high in the air. Tapped over by Akron. Leffler. Glendening. Again. Point. Bearcats.
And Glendening just absolutely working it, coming in clutch tonight. Bearcats now match point yet again, in position to take this game, all thanks to Carly Glendening on these last 2 points.
Timeout Akron, their last timeout of the match and the last timeout of anyone tonight.
I mean, this has been an absolute thriller of a game. It doesn't get much better than this.
One of the best possible volleyball experiences you can get. Tight through 4 sets. You go to a set 5. It's tight. We're over the 15-point limit. It's 16-15. These teams are fighting for their life out here. It's been a dogfight.
Dogfight is absolutely the right word. I mean, we've seen the absolute competitiveness through all 5 of these sets, really. I mean, it's really just going to come down to who wants it more. And I mean, it really feels like Carly Glendening herself wants it more.
Down the drive, echoing here in Fifth Third Arena. Cheering on the home Bearcats. Akron out of the huddle first and on to the court. Now the Bearcats. Serving will be Caitlin Leffler. Silent in Fifth Third. Leffler serves. Kept alive. Del Real. Miscommunication by the Akron Zips on the last point of the game, and the Bearcats take it. 3-2 in a thriller of a fifth set that goes 17-15. Squeaking out a win here at Fifth Third Arena. What a tight game this one was.
I mean, what a tight game indeed. I mean, Zips came out firing in that first set. Bearcats firing back the next two, and saw probably the closest, most competitive two sets of the game in the fourth and the fifth. And Bearcats really able to just fight for it, work for it, and just pull one out here in Fifth Third Arena.
And that's a tough way to lose if you're the Akron Zips. You played solid volleyball all night, and then it goes down on a miscommunication on the last point. But Akron should be happy. They played a very, very good game of volleyball. The Bearcats came away with the win. 7-2 on the season. Akron falls to 3-7. Bearcats have not lost at home yet. 2-0.
Yeah, and Bearcats just absolutely dominant at home. They'll keep that alive tonight and look to carry that momentum into their next game against Morehead State on the 19th.
That is going to do it here on Bearcast Media from Fifth Third Arena. My name is Justin Dietrich. I was joined by Colin Kunz. We will be returning on Bearcast Media Saturday at noon for the Houston football game. We'll be me and Christian Bagan on the call. But for now, thank you all Bearcats fans for listening, and have a great night.